Hey everyone, welcome to our very first Q&A. Here with me is Eric. Eric, how are you doing? Are you ready for some questions?
I am very ready to go. Thank you for suggesting we do this, Zach. Great idea.
Yeah, we see a lot of people on YouTube doing this, especially in our wrestling community. So we wanted to just give it a try, see how it goes. Hit us up in the chats if you have any questions for us. We do a wrestling podcast. We do pop culture. We game a lot, and yeah, any questions are welcome. Let's just try not to be too creepy.
Please.
I'm going to start off with a Twitter question right away. This is from Anthony at Rated R for Wrestling. Great YouTube channel. He does reviews of wrestling shows right after they happen, pay-per-views, all that good stuff. Head over for Rated R for Wrestling if you want to check out a good site for that. He asks, how do you think the AEW roster will be affected by CM Punk and Daniel Bryan? Ooh, it's a good question.
It is. um, that's the $1 million question. You hope it's positive. You really hope it's not a Hogan effect. I don't think it will be,
Yeah.
but I don't know. We're already seeing it. If Hangman doesn't, if Hangman doesn't fight Kenny at All Out, then we're starting to see it. They're gonna kind of jump into some of the storylines because they kind of have to. They're that big a name, but
Yeah.
it's awkward, you know.
It is. And I would love to have a Hogan effect by Bryan. Like, all of a sudden, he just got this big fucking ego leaving WWE. But yeah, last night on Dynamite, we saw that it looks like Christian Cage is going to be the new number one contender, and it's going to be a throwaway title match. Yeah, I don't know about fast tracking Punk into the title picture. I know you want to do him versus Omega to, uh, get that done with before Kenny goes on and nurses his injuries. But um, with those two and the Forbidden Door, I feel AEW originals and homegrown talent are going to feel it. They will feel it.
I think so. I mean, it's they have so much A+ talent already in AEW that I can't imagine balancing them all out and promising them that they're all gonna get their shine. But when Punk and Bryan come in, then a lot of those people are gonna have to not job, but they're gonna have to lose. They're gonna have to take the 3 count clean and just get tapped out. So it's gonna be an adjustment. It's gonna be something.
It will be.
Yeah.
Let's piggyback off of that. Ruby Soho is rumored to be going to AEW as well. I'll start off by saying I think that is a very positive one. Their women's division needs a lot of help. She is so good in the ring. She's so good everywhere, really. Do you think it's a good thing for the women's division, or it's the same deal as Punk and Bryan?
Oh, it's a very good thing. They if they actually do the Christian Cage build with her, if they move her up the ranks slowly but surely, just to give Britt Baker a real challenger, because let's face it, she doesn't really have one right now besides Thunder Rosa. Then that Ruby's a great addition if she's going there.
Yeah, I agree. Um, it seems like, I don't know, the women's division too is kind of, it's nice that they have the open door policy with the forbidden screen door, but also by the same time, Big Swole is doing more with another company's belt than in AEW, and I thought she would be a great feud based on their past with Britt Baker.
So I actually had no idea where Big Swole was. I thought she was injured. So thank you for saying that. Yeah, I would not have. If you want to give up certain talent to other companies, I get it. Like NXT did that with the Street Profits. They went down to Evolve, and that was a cool thing. But I would not give up Big Swole.
Yeah,
She's one of your only, like, she's one of your big female wrestlers. Who else do you guys have right now?
right. We got Red Velvet.
Yeah, yeah. I guess somebody has to lose. Somebody has to fill in the title defenses. So she.
Zemo, welcome to the chat. Good to have you here.
Yeah, what's up, Zemo? How you doing, man? Message was retracted, so I don't know what you said, but how you doing? Yeah. Do you? I guess I'll go back to you. Do you see Punk and Bryan, going back to that earlier question? Could you see it any way, shape, or form being negative?
It depends on how Punk is now. I think with Bryan, it's going to be very positive. I think he's just going to have fun working with younger people. But It depends on Punk. He's still got a chip on his shoulder on Twitter, so we'll see how it translates into the locker room.
That's true. I hope his paycheck. I really hope he did not just go out for a crazy paycheck. I hope Tony Khan knows his worth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's Punk is. I know people like to bring Punk's age, but he's actually younger than some of the most the active guys in WWE today. But he hasn't wrestled in a long time, so I hope he didn't just throw money at him.
We'll see. He threw money at the United Center out of nowhere. But let's add to that. Zemo with the question: do you think Adam Cole will stay in NXT or let his contract expire and leave WWE? That is another one. Will he go to AEW, where his girl is, his best friends are? The dirt sheets run wild here. Everyone's going to AEW. Eric, what do you think about that?
God, that's such a tough one. I'm almost scared to predict one way or the other because this is probably the most unpredictable one. So the rumor has it that they haven't offered him another contract yet. They haven't offered him anything yet. So at some point they will, and it's going to be a crazy amount of money. It's just the question is, does he take that money? Does he feel safe with it? Because apparently the bigger contract you have, the closer Nick Khan is to throwing you out.
Right.
It depends what he wants. I think if he wants like 5-star wrestling matches, he should stay in NXT. If he wants to have fun with his friends and, whichever he values more, friendship and good times or the art of wrestling, depends where he goes.
Yeah. That's I don't know. It's just another guy going to AEW who was an ex-WWE guy who's very popular and is going to take time away from anyone who is starting out. I feel like even with Everrise going there last night, it just seems like, why is Everrise all of a sudden in this big profile match, and then you got other teams that aren't? I know some people are injured from like Top Flight and stuff, but you got other tag teams.
I'll say this about Adam. Like this is just like for everyone. Period. I think AEW should hold off on signing. If they get Adam Cole, that should be the last one for a good while, because this is a lot of people for a 2-hour show, and we got Rampage. But that's 1 hour. How many matches are you gonna fit in there? So
right.
I don't know how many wrestlers is a full roster, but at some point you've got to say we've got too many, even for Dark Elevation.
Yep. And that's the thing too. You got to balance out. You have a system for rankings, so you have to balance that out and pay attention to that as well. Adam Cole going there. Britt Baker said in a recent interview that before all this talk started that he's very happy there in NXT. I am pretty sure he's very close with Hunter. I'm sure he's voiced to Hunter that he doesn't want to go to the main roster, so I'm sure it's open communication there. But it's just be sad to see him go, but also, what else can he do in NXT, really? I mean, other than a huge feud with Samoa Joe, I mean, that'd be great.
It would be. But see, I don't like I don't like the idea of people saying NXT for life. I really don't like that, because we talk about NXT like it's the quality is better than the main roster consistently. But and I hate to say it because I know Adam Cole hates it, Gargano hates it. It's not the third brand. So you being there for life, you could be doing so much more. If you're not aiming for WrestleMania because the main roster is what it is right now, then you shouldn't be in WWE. You should go somewhere else. So it's an iffy decision. It's an iffy choice.
What do you think? And leave a comment in the chat. What do you think it takes for NXT to become an actual third brand, other than like get Vince's mindset out of it? That doesn't matter. But for you as a viewer,
I know you just said take Vince out of it, but I'll answer your question the way you asked it. But the way I think it has to happen is Vince just has to literally say it's a third brand and mean it. That's it. But as a viewer, just treat the call-ups like I don't like. I love NXT, the quality, but what's the point of watching it? What's the point of me getting invested in Samoa Joe or Karrion Kross, anyone there, if when they go to the main roster, they're not the same person. They're not the same level. Like, this is not the Keith Lee that I got invested into. This is not. Like, what's the point?
Not. Yeah, I agree. It needs to have more crossover, like when Breezango came down.
Yeah.
And when Finn Balor came down, it needs more of that, but not too much, obviously, because you got to build talent in NXT. It also needs to get out of the PC or the training center or the
Oh.
YMCA or wherever they're at now. They need more people there to make it seem more legit. I mean, when I'm like trying to figure out who has more people in the crowd, NXT or Impact, then we got to beef it up a bit.
Yeah, for after they started letting people in, I thought that they were still just doing PC people there. I could not tell that was a real crowd, so they should go somewhere bigger.
Yep. Buy a ticket and you get a free shirt. Zemo in the chat here. There are other promotions that are better than WWE, and others have found success outside WWE. Jay Lethal is a great example. He is the perfect example. Eric, do you have anyone in mind that you think would just be better staying away from like a bigger promotion than WWE and even AEW if you want to, venture that way?
Let's see. I was just so it's funny you said because I was looking into the news to report later in the week, and Cassius Ono was talking. So I know he's older in age. He's not looking to be any world champions, but I think Cassius Ono, if he decides to stay in Ring of Honor, I think that's his best move. Don't go to AEW. Just be the gatekeeper of Ring of Honor. He's already a legend, but I think that will just push him even more into that status. So, Cassius, if you're listening, you're doing great work in Ring of Honor. Stay there. Don't go to AEW.
No.
Or Chris Hero.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I'm trying to think of someone else too. I don't think Darby Allin should go anywhere other than AEW. I don't think other promotions, maybe Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor really needs to like beef up a lot of stuff, but we'll see. Everything's getting shut down again.
Yeah.
WWE, if you have an established character on the indies, I would not go to WWE because it's just going to ruin it. And whatever you worked for, whatever you thought of, that will ruin it. So anyone with a character, I would say stay clear of WWE.
That's a good point. Yeah. So no Danhausen, no PCO.
No.
Yeah, I would also I guess New Japan guys are actually they're pretty safe. For some reason WWE loves to take New Japan guys. They don't really use them that well half the time, but they love them, so.
Yeah. Noob and Company, we're doing well. How are you doing, buddy?
How's it going, Noob and Co? Yeah, that's a good
Eric
tune,
sporting
man.
the Trust Us shirt right there.
That's right. Got the merch. Just Us League, WCP, Knox Final Boss shirt, all available. Link in the description.
Let us know in the chat. What is one thing you're very excited for this August? For me, it's the ROH Women's Championship. We just picked on the show. If you want to listen to our last episode, we just picked our brackets and who we have jump on a team to see who wins. And you will be a part of the winner and the winner's celebration and the loser's demise in a promo school package. So pick your teams and let us know in the chats. The women's division tournament in ROH is just something that it seems like more like really good indie talents. It just seems like kind of like a Mae Young Classic kind of thing, but a little more indie, obviously. Eric, anything stand out for you this August?
Even though I don't understand NWA in the slightest, I am still interested in this tournament. I'm interested in the outcome. Even though I can't watch it, I'm gonna be reading about it. I'm interested in the outcome because I don't think what's it called, Camille and Nick Aldis. I don't think their team's gonna win because what's the point of that if the winners get championship shots? So we'll see. Maybe Nick Aldis will drop the belt eventually to this winner, but I'll keep an eye out for the results of that.
Okay. SummerSlam, everyone's going to have to wear masks, and so far, it's going to happen. We're about 2 weeks out, and 2 weeks out.
We'll see.
And it is up in the air, kind of. So, I'm
not looking forward to. I don't know how we're gonna cover it, but I feel like it's gonna be a lot. So that's gonna be something.
Yeah, that will. especially with the new Friday night show Rampage. It starts up next week, and then the week after is supposedly the first dance with CM Punk. Zemo in the chat. I hate to see Ishii go to WWE. Vince would ruin him. Yeah, he would. Who do you think will win the Women of Honor tournament? I think it's going to be Angelina Love. I think that's your established name in the industry. It seems like she's going to be in ROH for a while, and then from there you can do the chase with Quinn because they're the storyline in the tournament. You can continue that later on, and you can make that last almost a full year. Quinn building up and having matches and stuff like that, especially since they are a 1 hour show. It's not like you have a whole bunch of time where you're wasting with that chase.
It's a good pick. I think Knock also said that last episode, hence why he picked her first. So,
yep,
good pick.
Eric, what do you think? Anyone stand out?
I'm gonna use this tournament as a chance to catch up on women's wrestling in the indie scene. I'm very, very far behind. I don't know most of these women, so
fair enough. That and Empower, I think, are going to be two great chances to catch up on indie women.
Yeah.
And last night, Layla Hirsch won a chance.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she did. Good for her. My money was on Allie just because she's the more established name, but Layla getting to fight Camille should be a good experience for her.
Yeah. Yeah. Layla Hirsch is legit.
That she is.
Let us know in the chat. What do you think should main event SummerSlam, Eric?
Oh, man. I want to say Roman and John, but I think I might be tired of. Not tired of, but I don't know if I want Roman and. I don't know if I want that as the main event personally. What? You go ahead. I'm gonna think of the options real quick. Run on the card in my mind real quick.
Okay, I'm gonna say Sasha and Bailey. I mean, excuse me, I'm too used to that. Sasha and Belair.
Yeah, I agree.
You saw the reception that it had on night one at WrestleMania. Why not double down on that? Those two are just fire right now. The crowd was blowing up Friday night. I think they have more of the momentum. I know it is the summer of Cena, but I mean, summer's almost over. We can end early.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, this is just a normal one-on-one match, right? No special rules or anything, just for the championship.
No.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I give them the main event. I still don't think they've done Bianca's reign as best as they could have, so I think giving them main event at SummerSlam will definitely boost that up.
I think so too. And so does Newton Company. Sasha and Bianca main event SummerSlam 2021. I don't see Goldberg main eventing. You're gonna have a 2-minute main event match. I don't think so. And like you said, Roman main eventing again, I think isn't fresh.
Yeah. My big worry with this whole Roman Reigns thing is that they're gonna overdo it because he's giving S-class work, but you can still overdo that. So don't give him the main event. Don't give him too much. But I will say this: I do have one thing I want to happen at SummerSlam. Even if it's a squash match against Baron Corbin, I want Finn Balor to win at SummerSlam because he's building up an undefeated streak. I think he's like 3-0 or 4-0 at SummerSlam.
Nice.
I think he's always
Mr.
been a demon, but build it up.
Yeah, they like to sell that at the big event.
Yeah.
I hope he just starts snapping and turns into the Prince on the main roster.
I hope so. I would watch that every week.
Yep. Crowd's been back for a few weeks now. Sometimes they seem very off, and sometimes they pop at weird things. What is your take so far on Crowds being back?
I feel as if the time away has just ruined Crowds because I don't know what they like. I don't know what they dislike. There was a great match that like a couple weeks ago that they were so quiet for, except for like the spots.
Oh yeah.
I I can't remember. It was a Dynamite match, but
Was it? Yeah. Um, I want to say Lance Archer, but I don't think it was.
I'm not sure. It might have been that same episode, but it was like just everything in between the spots, which was decent wrestling. They were just so quiet for, and but when it comes to things like I don't like Jericho, so I feel like everyone should dislike Jericho. But Jericho, the fact that Sammy hasn't really been mentioned in weeks, and something else that just happened, the Cody Rhodes stuff. In the moment, they're hot, and I just don't get it because I don't see this reception online. But people are loving it in the moment, and that has to mean something. But it's weird. I don't know. Maybe they're just hungry for wrestling. Maybe they just missed cheering.
Yeah. It's funny too how just hit up Zemo really, or excuse me, Noob and Company really quick. Yes, WWE will overexpose Roman because that's what they do, and wrestling fans are too bloody fickle. Good point. On Monday Night Raw, there was a match, and the Bray Wyatt chant started up for no reason during a good match. I can't remember what match it was.
Actually, no, I don't know. I don't watch Raw. What am I saying?
I want to say it was Keith Lee and Karrion Kross, but I could be wrong. If you know in the chats, let us know. But it was a good match. I was into it. I didn't have my thumb on the remote. And then the Bray Wyatt chant started, and another chant started in there as well during decent stuff.
No.
It's just weird. Yes, wrestling fans are so fickle, and it's funny to see the different types of fans at the different events. You look at a Dynamite crowd and what that looks like, and then you look at a WWE crowd, and I mean it's very family friendly, so it's very different.
We joke about it in the chat how these Dynamite fans are getting drunk, and I fully believe that because recently somebody posted in one of my wrestling Facebook groups that AEW recently changed their terms of policy for ticket buyers, and it included getting too wasted at the shows. So it might have been a problem. It might.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
Noob and Company was Tamina versus Doudrop. So I was invested in a Tamina match. That's how bad it was.
Oh boy.
Noob and Company wrestling fans are also fickle on social media, mainly on Twitter. I'm glad I can't figure out Twitter because I would probably go nuts with that. Yeah. Also, I'll say this about the Chicago crowd on Raw. I was so looking forward to them to just eat WWE alive. I did want Bray Wyatt chants or something, but it just came at the wrong time. I think there's another match. You could hear someone yell boring. It wasn't a bad match. Again, it was a long-term match. It's just TikTok and everything take away our attention spans. And that's what we get when we get long storytelling matches. Where was I going with this? My TikTok expansion, my attention span just went away.
No, I mean you definitely have a point there, though. Yeah, first I think this is why I hate the "we want table" chant so fucking much, because I think wrestling fans have forgotten that yes, you are a part of the show. It is interactive, but you're still at a show. You still sit there and you watch what's happening. They've been conditioned that if there's no big spots, no table spots, no crash, then it's not a good, exciting match, even if it's a long, by the books match.
Yep. Oh, and the thing I was going to say, I wanted the Chicago crowd to eat up WWE so they can stop thinking that they can tell us what to like and dislike, but they were so subdued. This was the quietest, chill Chicago crowd. And it's not really Chicago; it's Rosemont. It's not Chicago, but technically Chicago crowd. It was very, very quiet. And then there were times too on Raw we had piped in audio again. We had the Michael Cole reference during one of the intros to the 16-time champion. During Rhea Ripley's entrance, there was piped in audio too to help, I guess, condition the TV audience. So when you do go to a live show, you cheer for what WWE wants you to cheer for.
Which I can't stand. It's disgusting. It's taking away literally the one thing you're not supposed to control. It's if something works, then just let it happen organically. If you have to pipe in crowd noises, then make a better product. That's ridiculous.
Yep. Oh. Look at two of the biggest stars you have. You have because of fans. Daniel Bryan. That was easily just because of fans wanting that underdog to win.
Yep.
Who else would you not have if you did this back in the 90s? You'd have piped in cheers for the entrance at Survivor Series of Rocky Maivia.
That is true.
And you would not have The Rock.
And we already know they missed out on Zack Ryder, the original D-Bry. Just think of the star he could have been if they just let that ride.
Him and his friends and Chelsea Green are doing Pabst Blue Ribbon commercials now, so good for them for getting public spotlight.
Yeah, Pabst is really into wrestling.
Yeah, they are. Zemo, Twitter is a cancer. I wish it never existed. I hear you. Yeah. Newman Company agrees with you. We agree with you. Twitter is something else.
Stay away from the new Twitter, the one that was made just for Trump fans. I forgot what it's called. I'm not even gonna look it up, but it was made by Trump fans for Trump fans. So stay away from there. It's got a weird name too.
Oh man,
it's stupid.
Everyone just wants their voice to be heard.
I know.
Let's talk about Dynamite last night. The Malachi Black and Cody match. What were your thoughts on it? I wasn't too keen on it, but I'll let you speak first. Hit us up in the chat what you thought of that match as well, and we'll figure it all out together.
So this match, I want to say they did everything by the book because, again, the crowd just cheering for it so much. They were really hot for Malachi, which they should have been. Like the main goal you should have is Cody should lose to Malachi. It shouldn't even be close. It should be a one-sided beatdown, and Malachi looks strong, which I think they did. But Cody just went. I think he was way too dramatic with it. I think he's gone. Each feud he's had, he's tried to sell something, or he tries to go over the top with it, and he does it so much that it just dilutes it. At this point, I just wasn't buying it from Cody. I don't know. I think every problem I have with this match is from Cody, which sucks because he was my favorite, and I just don't like this version of Cody anymore.
Yeah, Malachi did everything right. Technically, you're correct. Cody put him over well. I don't think it was a good match. I don't think the spot was. Again, the camera angle kind of ruined it for me, but that's just, you see him looking over. I couldn't do that spot, but I mean, he was like this close to hitting his head on the announcer there, but so good on him for doing it clean. That ending, man, just out of nowhere, it made no fucking sense. Like it was just bad. I thought it was bad, and now Malachi's got that stink on him too. He could have just been like with Arn, like questioning things, and then just been attacked afterwards. I don't know. This whole like retirement out of nowhere because he's been given opportunities elsewhere. He doesn't have that many opportunities. Second season of the Go Big show where you're downgrading from Snoop Dogg to DJ Khaled. That's not like, I don't know. Nope.
That's a shame.
You get the second best host.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't get it. You're right. It came out of nowhere. Nobody really believed he was going to retire. What was the point of that? It just made me think. Like, it reminded me of Double or Nothing. Dustin did it so much better. That was believable. That was the end. That could have been the end of his career. You're telling me you lost to Malachi Black on an episode of Dynamite, and that you're calling it quits? Like, tone it down, buddy. You're not getting me at me.
No, he's not. Oh man, it's just gonna be so he can. It's gonna be the exact same thing with like a go-go. So the next week he can come back. He's not gonna say tonight I'm the American Dream again, but it's gonna be, you know what? I'm gonna fight for my family now, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna take you out, Malachi Black, and it's just gonna be for this other big speech. I just can't dig it. Newman Company, Cody is very over dramatic. Like, what was he thinking? I don't know. It was. Again, AEW, just get an acting class going. Please.
I can't remember what season of South Park it was, but there was one season where so every season Kyle is the one who gives like some great big speech at the end that somehow wraps everything up, and that's the moral of the episode. And then there's one season where everyone's like, dude, we're tired of your speeches. Like cut it out. And they just stare at him. And this was that moment where we're like, dude, seriously, another speech? Like, now?
South Park is renewed through season 30, and also HBO Max is ordering 14 movies from South Park.
14? Oh, that's awesome. Just made my day.
14 movies. I'm gonna hit up 2 here from Zemo. First one, have you heard of the passing of Bobby Eaton? I was shocked when I found out. Yeah, he's relatively young.
62.
I think in his 60s. Yeah. That's it's scary when that stuff happens.
I was looking to see. I was going to do a surprise announcement, if it happened. But I was looking into making a news video to release either today or tomorrow, and Bobby Eaton was on there. I think we've covered everything that was actually on the news video. So, thank you, Zemo, for hitting that last beat. But yeah, condolences to Bobby Eaton's family.
Mm-hmm. And Zemo, I doubt Cody was thinking very hard or at all. You know what? I'll reverse that, Zemo. I think he was overthinking everything. I think he was thinking of his end game with this storyline in his head, which none of us know. I think he was thinking about, I don't know. I think he's overthinking everything that he's been doing lately. The Agogo stuff was overthought. None of it was necessary. And, it sucks that Agogo has to have these eye surgeries constantly. But if you knew he wasn't going to be around for that, why waste the American Dream thing on him and do this stupid Rocky IV thing?
It could. I can't remember where I just found this because when I was looking for news yesterday, but there was a source that said, it was Cultaholic, and I remember that Cody wanted this fight to happen in the UK, and the fact that he wanted it in the UK tells me that he really should take a break from booking for a while, because if he thought he was going to walk into the UK as the American Dream and be the face, I don't know where Cody's head is at. I think it's partially everyone. I think it's our fault. Everyone who's given Cody this moniker of the great what's what I'm looking for, the great orator. We all expect Cody to have some great speech. We all expect him to be the face of AEW. So I think he tries way too hard, and I think we need to just give him a break and be like, hey, go away for a while and come back.
Yes.
And don't try.
Go be a dad. And if this is what this is all about, was him a storyline to take him out so he can go be a dad, wasn't necessary with this retirement shit. All he had to do was have Malachi just take him out regularly, and that's it. Simple write-off.
Yeah. Honestly.
In the chats, DWE, how are we all, lads? Great to see the stream. Hopefully Kanye West drops tonight. Is he dropping an album tonight?
I don't even listen to any. I don't listen to any music that's not old at this point. So I have no idea.
Huh. And I am old, so I'm right there with you. Let us know, DWE. Great to have you in the chat. Another great station here on YouTube here. Check it out, DWE. A lot of good stuff. I think he just put out a video today, actually. Yep. Zemo, Cody should just let Arn take over as Booker. I think some of these older guys should.
Yeah, I think so. I noticed when Cody was giving his chat, he just again hammer home how hard he was trying. He even peppered in the stuff about the EVPs fighting and all that. And at that point, I don't know, maybe get some more EVPs who know what they're doing when it comes to booking, because I don't know, it's just not working for me right now with some of the stuff they're doing. I wanted to.
Nope.
Just ain't hitting home.
Nope. We'll see how Rampage holds up, and if it's a different show. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the announced team. In a second here, I'm just going to hit up DW's latest chat here. Done a video and a live stream today. Watch NXT UK. It was wild 30-minute Iron Man match with Devlin. And a kid highly recommended. Recommend. I can highly recommend NXT UK. Sorry, I have old man eyes and I got the sun print way
It's
over
just
there.
a 30-minute Iron Man match of Devlin versus a kid.
I think I might have misread it, but what he's trying to say. But NXT UK, I got to get back into that. Glad you brought that up, DWE. We'll talk about Rampage in a second here. NXT UK, Eric, when was the last time you watched that?
When Tyler Bate beat whoever was the Heritage Cup champion. So that was like a month ago.
All right. Oh, yes. I'm sorry. DW A Kid.
Yeah,
A Kid.
I knew it was
Thank
A
you.
Kid.
That's how long it's been since I watched.
was waiting to see who would correct it in the chat. Yeah, I'm definitely going to. I'm definitely going to check that match out because A Kid and Devlin are great. A 30-minute Iron Man match. Oh man, thank you for recommending it, man. I'm going to check that out as soon as we're done with this stream.
Yes. Very, very fun guy. DW is. I'm going to check that out too. And thank you for reminding me because I always forget because Peacock isn't the WWE logo anymore. So I don't have that to remind me that I need to watch NXT UK. I used to watch it weekly for months and months and months on end. So, yeah. And that is why I will never call Piper Niven Dewdrop. She's just really, really good. Let's go into some more NXT UK bits here. Pete Dunne, reportedly, his contract is up as well around the same time Adam Cole's is after SummerSlam. Do you see him going anywhere?
First of all, he deserves everything. If they wanted to make him WWE champion, I wouldn't question it. He's that good. But I feel like his time to go to the main roster has passed, and it was when Enzo was Cruiserweight champion and Pete Dunne came to Raw for some reason, and they just for some reason sent him right back down. I would love to see, and DWE actually, it's great you're here. Maybe you can shine some light on this for me. I would love to see a lot of the UK wrestlers leave WWE and strengthen the UK indie scene. I don't think they're going to be used properly in WWE, especially not the main roster. So make the UK indie scene
DWE, what do you think about that? That is a very good point, actually. Yeah, I don't know where he would fit in. I don't know. He's just a tough one. He's a tough one because he's kind of a character, kind of like not a character. He's really good in the ring.
Great on the mic.
I like that he looks like he is. I like that he looks like the older brother from Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. It's just tough. It's very tough with a lot of these UK talents because they're very good technically. It's just a lot of them, that's their bread and butter, is the technical, not the showmanship.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Devlin is very good. He's very good at playing a very serious character. And also Noam Dar. He is very good at what he does.
Yeah. At one point he was killing on NXT. I thought he was going to get called up. But
yeah.
Yeah, that's like you said.
Zemo.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, Zemo in the chat, if Vince gets his hands on him, a kid will become a jobber.
Nice.
That is very true. And he also says, I would give anything to see Pete Dunne and all the other British talent leave WWE and go back to Progress Wrestling. You can build that up really good with all those names now that are established.
Oh, yeah. It kind of sucks that they folded so quickly, but I remember loving What Culture Pro Wrestling / Defiant Pro Wrestling because they somehow just got all the big names. They had UK wrestlers. They had just pretty much somehow everybody just went there. And the UK wrestling scene used to be so cool before NXT UK. Almost to the point where I think it might have been just as good, if not better, than the US scene. But
nice.
NXT UK has kind of drained some of that.
Newman Company, have some of the UK talent go to Impact Wrestling. Everyone forgets about Impact. There's a reason for that, but also in my opinion, Impact management needs to do better to make a better product. Impact Wrestling looks like Impact Wrestling on TV. You have great talent, and Impact just looks like Dixie Carter's rummage sale because of it. I don't think the production is right. I don't think, at least ROH kind of knows what it is. And it seems like Impact still tries to emulate a WWE main roster show when it shouldn't.
Yeah,
that's just my opinion. But Impact should be built better.
It should be because they have talent, like you said. They've had name power too. I mean, they had Brian Cage for a while. They have Moose now, Rich Swann. They have a lot of talent. It's just every time I tune into it, I have no desire to stick around. It looks so bland. It doesn't keep my attention. And
Yeah.
it, this is great for AEW. I'm not knocking it because it's still a cool time to be a wrestling fan, but they kind of gave up their main championships and their tag championships to AEW. So I mean,
Right. So you don't even respect your own company.
right.
And your next paper, I said this before, the last pay-per-view is based on ex WWE talent coming over. So based on other talent not from your company. And now your next pay-per-view is coming. Oh, I'm sorry, that was two pay-per-views ago. They have one every other day. Their next big one is based on other companies being a part of it, which is cool. But that again is what's selling your company. And DWE in the chat says NXT UK is very good, but I feel that NXT UK was WWE of trying to put out the fire of UK indies. It was getting so big, WWE just wanted to control it. Very interesting point. And you look at that point and look at the other side of the coin, what they wanted to do in India. That's really not happening anymore. Their global quest and for India, the UK, China, and some other markets has halted. COVID totally did that. And I think Nick Khan is behind some of this again. People that were supposed to be a part of the India stuff are no longer really a part of anything anymore, especially if you're Jeff Jarrett, where you're not even part of the company anymore, and that was what you were going to head up. Jinder, I could feel he could go. He has a decent salary, and Nick Khan could get rid of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, their global conquest is, thankfully, that's a nice thing that the pandemic did. It kind of wiped out their global Dr. Evil plans.
It did. And I can't remember when I said it, but if you keep doing things not because you want to, but because you have some ulterior motive, it's not going to work. Like women's like their women's division, they don't care about it, so it's not working that as well as it should be. Going to India, that was purely for the fan base. Pushing Xia Li, purely for the Chinese fan base. These things just don't work out if you don't really care about them.
Right. Rated R for wrestling. Don't look knock here. You say that.
Oh, he's gonna get us.
He's busy jet flying around the country.
Yeah.
Yeah. He'll hear it, and there'll be 5 new TNA videos put up on our page. Zemo, Triple H killed UK indie wrestling just like Vince killed the territories. Zemo, if you care to elaborate, and if you know Eric or anyone else in the chats, was that generally a Triple H project?
I think. Well. I want to say yeah. I want to say at the time it was Triple H heading it, but I mean at the end of the day it is Vince's money. You know, Triple H can propose it, but Vince is the one who has to say yes.
Right, just like when he proposed to Stephanie, Vince had to say yes. DW in the chat, especially after
Triple H.
Because Hogan said no. DWE, especially after the COVID, they've been more strict in the UK. It's only now shows have started up again. It's slowly getting back, but ICW, Rev Pro, Progress, all the big British promotions have struggled. I'm going to jump on to his next one right away. But with NXT UK, it gives British wrestlers a chance to make a full-time earning out of wrestling without having to travel halfway across the world and having to leave their families. Very good point.
That's true.
It is a good point. A lot of wrestlers fly all the way to the US for that WWE money and the houses and get your babies paid for. But yeah, that is nice. They can stay home and do that as well and have their friends and family right by them.
Yeah. That's the main reason Bea Priestley went. It was kind of weird watching her go to NXT UK because she was in AEW and you could tell she was going to be a big star there. COVID happened and you could see it in her that she was like, well, I'm going to have to go to NXT UK. It's the best option. I can stay home and work full time.
Yeah. Zemo, Impact needs to end their partnership with AEW and make a deal with ROH. ROH would be a better partner than All Elite Friends. You know, it would. And so their next pay-per-view, it showed just like everyone's promotion going to Vegas for that next pay-per-view. I kind of, yeah, I don't know. The partnership didn't work out in my eyes. Impact, I don't know. Impact looked like cucks. You just gave your championship away, and they're not even holding its hand when it's out at date night.
I think ROH and Impact would be a good partnership. definitely help both of them mutually. Um, this happened this is like the 2000s, so this was a long time ago. That they could easily remedy this. But do you remember when ROH and Impact did have their original partnership when they were a thing?
Mm.
That's sort of how CM Punk got his like 1 year stint in Impact. But it ended because the
yes,
I might be wrong. It was the ROH or Impact's founder. One of them was a pedophile or something, so they cut off the relationship. So
damn.
they just have to publicly announce, "Hey, we're back together." You know, it was years ago, but it's still something they should address if they do partner up.
Yeah. Zemo. Triple H and Vince are obsessed with signing all the indie stars from all over the world and kill off other indie promotions and put everything under the WWE banner. At least they were. And to jump on that, Noob and Company, fans want NXT Japan, but it's not working because of the pandemic. And with most of the fans are upset about the booking of Japanese wrestlers in WWE makes the fans more upset than ever. Yeah, so both those comments are going to kind of go into my next point here. You want that global domination if you're a company like WWE. I don't agree with it. I mean, it's so much work and you have so many people already that don't do shit on your payroll. But wouldn't it be better to have a thriving indie scene so then you don't have to train these people, especially technically? All you really need to do is get them in the door. And like I think it was Finn Balor when he first came on in NXT, he was just like amazed at what Triple H taught him from the production side. When you come out to the ring, how you look at cameras, how you look at fans, how you stand in the light for a certain amount of length. That should be the only thing you're concerned about training wrestlers with, which some of them might know from being on the indie scene. So in my opinion, I'll take years after this year. A thriving indie scene makes your company better.
But yeah, completely agree. And even now, the thing about learning about the production, indies are even starting to teach that now. Like when Knock and I trained with Peter Avalon, he would have us work as if there was a hard camera. So like indie scenes are even now teaching that. Like so, why you're right? Why not just let them do most of the work for you? And it's even crazy. Like I kind of get it. You're a big corporation and you're number one, so you want to expand. But it's so interesting that Vince McMahon is the one doing it, especially since he grew up in the time where there were territories, and his dad told him, "You don't mess with territories." Like he's the one person who should, respect that, but he doesn't.
Yeah, I don't get it. I will touch on something in a little bit here. Let me just hit the chats. I got two. I'm gonna go back to back. Rated R for Wrestling. Again, check out his YouTube channel. It's fucking great. Are the rumors true? Does John Cena suck? Anthony, the rumors are true.
False.
Believe it. No, my friend. I get all my news from reputable sources like the Inquirer and my own head. So the rumors are true. John Cena does suck. Talent's getting buried. Spots are being taken.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Anthony, I'll tell you straight from the horse's mouth. The false news, your right wing media will tell you Cena sucks, but over here on the right side, right not here.
Gotcha.
The righteous of us are saying, "Let's go Cena." They covered that up.
He's ruining things so much. They have to pipe in Michael Cole talking about him as being the 16-time champion in another man's entrance. All right.
It sounds to me like someone is loving it so much in the back. They're spazzing out and they're hitting the production.
WWE wants to make their own indie scene, so they have all these small promotions, but it's all under WWE banner, not someone else's. I think that's the end goal for WWE. I think you're right, DWE, and I think their banner is what's going to hurt it and make it fail ultimately in the end. NXT UK is on a streak now of the pandemic losing money, so I don't know what's going to happen to NXT UK, but they don't promote it like they used to.
They do not.
Zemo at Noob and Company, Japanese wrestling industry did not bend the knee and sell out. NOAH and DTT Wrestling were bought by Cyber Agent and are under the Cyber Fight banner. I did not know that. Thank you, Zemo. Also, Zemo, I think I heard that Vince had a bad relationship with his father, and I believe that's why he hates wrestling. You can go on that one, Eric.
So I don't know if they're still doing the Chris Hemsworth movie, but Vince's relationship with his father is very, very freaking weird. He begged his dad to get him into wrestling. His dad said, "No, you should."
I'm sorry.
No,
said banged his dad.
Oh, no, that's Hogan. He begged his dad to get him into wrestling. His dad said no, and then his dad's like, "Fine, fuck it. You keep asking, you're gonna work your way up." So he had a very complicated relationship with his dad, but I don't know what. I mean, it's one of the things I used to respect about Vince is that he was radical for his time, but now he's just stayed the exact same way, and as times changed, his radical is now very old and out of date.
Yep. And I don't think he hates wrestling. I think he had a lot of fun in the 80s growing the company, and I think he actually enjoyed the Monday Night Wars in the late 90s. I think it's once those were done and WCW was purchased by him, I think then once they became publicly traded, I think his mindset just went somewhere else, and it's not about the product anymore. And I'm going to bring this up really quickly here too. This goes on in my head. Not just that John Cena sucks, but I think something is up in WWE. I think it's something that's not, I don't want to say not good or whatever it is, but I do think something is up with these cuts, with Nick Khan having so much control, with people like Randy Orton not really jonesing to be back on TV anytime soon, with Becky Lynch saying, you know, I'm cool until October. I know she just had a kid, but I mean, still, I think things are up in that company. I know the McMahons and Triple H sell their stock regularly, but I do believe it's happening a little more frequently now. And the way things are going with the releases and everything else, and no more pursuit of the other markets. I know COVID and everything like that. I think something's up with that company. Something that other people that work there are not really vibing on.
I think so. I'm gonna push it as far as to say I think we're gonna see somebody get charged with something, because I want to say at least twice we've heard of WWE getting in trouble for doing something with their stocks or misannouncing their true worth or something. They did something with their stocks, so something's going on. I just hope that, in my heart of hearts, I hope Triple H isn't in on it. I just keep hoping that this is just a pure McMahon thing and somehow Triple H is innocent. But if they end up getting charged with doing something illegal, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yep. I think it's either something illegal or it's some kind of a sale. I don't know what else Vince can really do. It might be within the next 5 years after the Peacock deal is done. I don't know what other deals he can get, what other big things that can happen. You got your Fox that bought the rights to SmackDown. You have Peacock, who owns your network. You have your Steady USA contract. If you're not going to do the India and the China territories anymore, what's your next step? Say goodbye to the company, because I don't think Vince wants to give it up. I think he just wants to sell it now. I think that's why you brought in a person like Nick Khan, and that's why you didn't hand it over to Triple H, or you didn't hand it over to someone else by now, is because you don't want to see anyone else run your company. You want to sell it, you want to be on top. And I think ultimately Vince is going to get bit in the ass, and probably something like illegal with a scandal or with the stocks or something is how he's going to go out. He's not going to go out the white knight that he thinks he is. He's going to go out in a legal messiness.
I think so. I completely agree. Which sucks, because honestly, is it greed? Is it greed? Is it just boredom? What do you think it is? I mean, Vince could just walk away right now, have all the money in the world, and fuck off, live life.
Read Kingpin storylines in comics. I think that's the Vince McMahon that we have now.
The one who is Hogan his I forgot what Kingpin's wife is, or her name is.
Oh,
that his muse.
I forgot to. Yeah, yeah. But Nick Khan is his Smythe. DWE in the chat. NXT UK is fairly promoted well. WWE, it's on a big TV network here in the UK and on at a good time for UK fans. And BT Sport in the TV network does promote WWE very well. Okay, so let's get on your end that it does and that market is enjoying it. Here it's really not. It's either once on NXT on USA during a commercial break, or it's really nothing at all unless you're on the WWE app on Peacock. The Phenomenal Ali, shout out to everyone in the chat. We appreciate y'all. Hope you're enjoying your vacation, Knock. He is deserving of that.
Real quick, I just want to say I wasn't that last question. I wasn't laughing at your question, DW. That was a great question. I was laughing at when we get to it, Knock's question about TNA.
Okay. Newman Company, there's a lot of wrestlers who are absent the past few weeks. Dana Brooke, Becky Lynch, Randy Orton, and Asuka are not on television these past few weeks. Yeah, you got fans back. Why wouldn't you want to be back? I do think something's going on. Zemo, Vince doing shady business would not surprise me. Nope. Phenomenal Ali, here we go. Why does TNA have the biggest impact on pro wrestling today?
Huh? Doesn't even have an impact on my week.
Doesn't even have an impact on pop television or whatever it's on.
Oh man. Ay.
WWE, in Vince's eyes, WWE is just a business, not a wrestling show. To him, all he wants now is money and probably will sell WWE completely. That's what we're thinking. And last one here, Zemo at DWE. Let's hope he does not sell WWE to Disney. The mouse already ruined Star Wars. Zemo, that is going to be comment of the day. They ruined Star Wars. I don't really care about Star Wars anymore. Thank you to the Mandalorian for at least keeping some of the Force hope alive in me.
I will say this, Zemo. They ruined the movies. Fuck all three of those movies. But I really do like the shows and the comics and the books. When Disney is not like caring too much about the money, the thing is the product's really good. So check out the shows, the comics, and the books.
Yeah, and the Bad Batch just got picked up for season 2.
Yeah, which is worth it. Check it out.
All right, cool. All right, anything else you want to touch on?
Let's see. We have some more Twitter questions real quick. Which
okay.
Also thanks to Knock for bringing those up. This comes from SCW, Great Wrestling Channel.
Yes.
What do you think WWE and AEW should do if they are forced to go back to no crowds again, which is looking like a possibility?
So they already are finding spots for the Thunderdome. That is already in progress. That is already being planned out to happen as soon as the Monday Night Raw following SummerSlam. So we could be back in that electronic coffin before we know it. AEW will be back at Daly's place, I'm sure. They had their homecoming last night. I mean, they're gone for 2 weeks, but I guess their homecoming.
That was really weird.
Yeah. But yeah, any thoughts on that, Eric?
I mean, I guess what can you do besides what they've done? I don't love it because I'm not ready to go back to just them to WWE shamelessly pumping in crowd noises. At least when there's a crowd, we can tell when it's BS. I mean, I guess you can tell when it's BS even more in the Thunderdome because it's all crowd noises. But I don't know. They just do it too shamelessly. And it's a case of it's a good move, but you guys abuse it.
Yep. DW at Zemo. He agrees it's going to be Disney or NBC owned, and wonder how they will see wrestling as, because everything will change under the new owners. Of course it will. They want it to match up with their other IPs and everything like that, and with whatever their company's mission statement is.
It'll be really cool if Disney buys it. We're gonna see Spider-Man in the ring.
Yeah. Oh yeah. At least the streaming service will be fine.
Yeah.
For pay-per-views.
God, that's the best thing we can hope for. Can everyone in the chat just take a second to Peacock sucks shit. I'm sorry for UK viewers. I know you guys are getting Peacock soon. I know that's making its way over there. I'm so sorry because it's just shit.
It is. Yeah, any more Twitter responses?
Let's see what else have we got here. We covered Radar for Wrestling's first one. What are your thoughts, again from SCW, what are your thoughts for the future in WWE when the company still heavily relying on legends / older talents to draw for the company on big events? So I guess just what do you think is going to be happen to WWE in the future with them relying on so many part timers and legends?
Um, they're not going to have that many legends once they start getting too old or unfortunately pass. They're not booking big stars anymore. Vince, again, this is something else that's up with the company. Vince tried so hard with Roman for a little while, but then doesn't care now. Um, he just wants a product. It doesn't matter how good or bad it is to me in the eyes of Vince. He's still ripping up scripts because he wants it his way, but he just wants this product that fits in this box that's in his mind to go out into the world every Monday night, every pay-per-view, every Friday night, and that's all he's concerned about for whatever reason. Again, I don't know if it's for the sale or what, but he just wants the steady product. So we're not going to get big superstars. Years from now, it's going to be people like, oh, sweet, it's the New Day or whatever. But I mean, I hate to say it, but there's not going to be another John Cena.
I know, right? With a legend. Yeah, I agree. They're I don't know where that stemmed from though, because even if he's upset that The Rock or Batista or Cena all left for Hollywood, why are you upset? You use that to your advantage sometimes. Like I don't understand where that hate came from.
Right.
They're gonna have a very hard time convincing me in the future that Seth Rollins is a legend coming back, worth being excited for.
That's what I'm saying. Like he has like one of the biggest spots in the last like 10 years with cashing in the briefcase. But that's it, really. I mean, you can say someone's a solid workhorse and we're familiar with them, but I mean, I don't know. Vince doesn't really care anymore. He got rid of a top merchandise seller in Bray Wyatt. He doesn't care anymore.
Yeah, and Rusev.
Yeah, and they sold Bray Wyatt merchandise, by the way, at in Rosemont in Rosemont, Chicago, Monday night.
I think they just finished selling Braun Strowman merchandise too. I think Braun's line might have just finished, but yeah, I don't get it. And it's not even they're not even booking for the present. Like if you're not going to book for the future, maybe you'd say, oh, we're booking for right now and we're just focused in the moment, but they're not. They
Nope.
When three of your big matches, again, I know Edge is the exception because Edge is awesome, but when it's Edge, Goldberg, Cena, Lesnar was teased for the longest time. You're not looking to the future or the present. You're just focused on the past. You're coasting.
WWE is concerned about like basically a school cafeteria person. They just want to get random food to the kids and get the kids out, and we'll do it again tomorrow.
Yeah. DWE. Surely, if WWE has to stop touring, they can have maybe 200 to 300 fans distanced out. I would rather that in a small set than the Thunderdome. DWE. That's a great idea, but unfortunately, in America, we're not as smart as we should be. So I don't think that's even going to be an option. Vaccines are not being taken as much as they should. Masks not being worn as much as they should. So
Nope.
It's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, and also hearing that NWA is trying to figure out what to do for their event. They don't even know if that's going to happen, if it'll happen in front of fans, or what they're going to do. So that's just a few weeks away too. And again, SummerSlam may not happen.
Yeah. Was this past WrestleMania, was that one no, there was some event that just happened. It was a big weekend. Crowds were back. We were in the clear, but then there was that one fan who went to basically every wrestling show that weekend, and might have spread out to everyone. I can't remember what event it was because I don't think it was WrestleMania. Maybe it was. But that's basically why having 200, 300 fans would be very tough, because there's always going to be that one person who's going to jeopardize it.
Yep. All right. Any other questions from the twit?
We've got Noob & Co. Question he asked over there. What are your thoughts on Rhonda blaming the fans? Did you see her comment about Bray Wyatt? And you talked about it earlier about the Bray Wyatt and chance in a match.
Yeah. She's kind of right. She's just very forceful in how she says things.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, well, I agree she has a point. She definitely does have a point. I think wrestling fans do, they are responsible for some people getting dropped. I don't know
Yep.
if Bray Wyatt is that person though. I don't think there's ever a time when people didn't push for Bray Wyatt to be bigger than he was.
Yeah.
It's a good point, but wrong person maybe.
Definitely. Yeah. If you want to, there is a GoFundMe set up for Bobby Eaton if you are interested and can afford anything.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it.
Let's see. There's one last one if you want to knock out this last one before
Yeah.
we go.
Yeah, go ahead.
What would you do to improve Monday Night Raw? How would you guys have booked Retribution better, including a reveal? And this comes from Jonesy Chats Wrestling.
Hey, Jonesy Jets, my guy. What would I do to improve Monday Night Raw? First of all, I would say, hey, USA, quit yelling at me about the ratings. Quit yelling at me about Bray Wyatt and let me ditch this third hour. It's USA that wants this third hour. That's what kills Raw. It wouldn't be as bad of a show if it was just the 2 hours. And the fact that they're doing 3 hours in front of live fans now and filming for main event and everything else, they're killing the live audience as well. So that's what I would do to fix Monday Night Raw. Little things here and there, but whatever. For Retribution, if you want to respond to anything while I think about that, Eric.
Retribution, first of all, they didn't care. That was just them doing the shock value. Someone bring a fucking chainsaw to the ring. They didn't care. But if they wanted to save it, I think they honestly could have if they had just called Mustafa Ali to the creative meeting and said, okay, what would you like to do? You've been carrying this for a long time. And also, also include the other people from Retribution, because I think they also try their damnedest to get that over. Just ask them, do you guys have any ideas? Because we're not going to lie to you. We started this with no fucking plan. So save us. And I think they could have actually pitched some cool things.
I think so too. Yeah, actually, that's perfect. And then I would have said too, if I was creative, I want to work with you, Mustafa, specifically. You were a police officer. What do vigilantes do? What do people in large groups do that are dangerous? And then how can we scale it down to do it here for our wrestling show? Like, what ideas do you have of just stuff like that? I mean, he's a police officer. He knows what vigilantes do.
Right.
He's a police officer in Chicago. You're not like a police officer in fucking Mayberry. Like,
right.
Great question, Jonesy Chats.
Yeah, damn good question. If you want to hit this chats and call it a day.
Yeah, we'll do that. Zemo fans are not to blame for the failure of Bray. Vince ruined Bray the minute he decided to book him to lose in a feud with Cena. You know, Zemo, you make some great points today. Cena is just a
I don't remember
career
that
killer. Poor Miro, poor Bray.
I don't remember any of that. I remember Cena taking the 3 count in a Firefly Funhouse match. I think Miro tapping out Cena clean at one point. I don't remember any of this.
I think he's tapping something else in the tank. Last one here, Noob and Company. Look how disastrous the women's division, bringing back Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey can't save their division. Have someone like Asuka to entertain everyone instead of relying on Charlotte or the 4 horsewomen. Very interesting. I would not bring back Ronda Rousey at all.
I think that's done.
I think they got there. Yeah, that's passed. Becky needs to come back somewhat different. She got kind of stale towards the end there. I would reward Asuka, but again, she hasn't been on Raw. Charlotte, I honestly think she's out the door.
Yeah.
I think now that her dad and her guy are in AEW, I think she wants to test the waters somewhere else as well. Yeah, so I think we are going to get hopefully new women talent there, and also, I can't remember names. Former UK champion.
The one who Mako just beat.
Yes.
I know what you're talking about, but yeah, the name.
She's fantastic.
Yes, Kaylee. Right?
But anyways, yes, she's at the Performance Center, so she may be headed to either Raw or SmackDown very soon.
But WWE has all the great women talents, but it just if they want to fix it, care. That's all you have to do is just care about it. Get some female writers, or get some female talent, or call Mickey James and be like, "Hey, Mickey, you're doing some great things with NWA. How would you like to do that on a bigger scale? Sorry, NWA, and just steal her back and put her in charge of the women's division."
Yeah, it's that simple. And thank you, Noob Company. Yes, Kaylee Ray, she's phenomenal. I would put her on SmackDown, not the same show as Piper. I mean, look at how when Ember Moon came back, she had fun being on NXT. It wasn't Vince in her ear. It wasn't 30 writers in her ear. Yeah, you need to get women involved. People who are going to have fun with this. People can bring new life into this. The women's division is stacked with talent. It's just the storytelling. It's the pacing of Raw. It's just all these things are just killing it.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Cool. Well, that is it. Apparently, Asuka is in Orlando, Florida yesterday doing her YouTube stuff. Thank you, Noob Company. Thank you for joining us for this first ever Q&A. Zemo says Stardom Wrestling blows the WWE Women's Division out of the water. Even the KO division is better from a booking standpoint. The knockouts are the best part of Impact. I'll say that. Yeah, but that is our first Q&A. We'll try another one sometime. And thank you for joining us in the chats. Any last words, Eric?
Keep an eye out on the channel. We've got a couple videos planned this week. I was going to do a news video, but honestly, we've hit every news story that I had planned. So maybe tomorrow I will look into doing another one. But definitely keep an eye out. We've got some stuff coming out. Thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for joining. I just put out a new Pop Talk today. Give that a whirl. It's under 10 minutes, so it's not going to be too much of your time. But thank you again for joining. We have a great time with you guys. Hopefully we'll do this again. Make sure you subscribe and, like, share with your friends and have them be a part of us. Again, we got the episode on Sunday for you to listen to. Send us anything you want us to talk about. We'd love to. With that being said, for Eric, Zach, and Knock on the East Coast, we are West Coast Pop. Have a great week, y'all.
Peace out.